It's about the Urban League's annual state report, which was released this last weekend. And they draw on data and surveys from a whole bunch of organizations, the UCLA Law School, the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Anti-Defamation League, among others. And what they found collectively is that in recent years, there has been a dramatic increase in hate crimes and efforts to change classroom curriculums, attempts to make voting more difficult, and extremist racist views being normalized in politics, in the military, and in law enforcement. I would argue that all of this tracks the rise of Donald Trump to the White House. Donald Trump made bigotry and racism fashionable among the right in America. Probably the number one area where we're seeing this played out in our schools is the critical race theory thing, which is, as we all know, critical thought in our schools. It's a college-level course for law students, but it has become a phrase that has been interpreted by Republicans to mean black history, or any part of American history that talks about the genocide of Native Americans, the anti-Chinese laws in the 1880s, the 1888 or 1887 Chinese Exclusion Act, or slavery, the Civil War, Jim Crow, all of the indignities and violence and murder and lynchings and everything else that have been imposed upon, or it's way too soft a word, but you know what I mean, upon black people in this country. Or for that matter, Operation Wetback during the Eisenhower administration, which Donald Trump wanted to revive and wanted to use the same name. 209 local, state, and federal government entities have introduced more than 670 bills, resolutions, executive orders, statements, and other measures against critical race theory since September of 2020, when Fox News started promoting this thing. 670. And this has had a chilling effect on America. I mean, you saw how textbooks for Florida were being rewritten to say that Rosa Parks gave up her seat to a man on the bus, rather than black woman Rosa Parks, refused to give up her seat to a man on the bus. Black woman Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man on the bus. I mean, they just stripped all the race out of it. Like, what does that have to do with anything, right? I mean, this is just, the smallest thing. In Florida now, DeSantis wants to end, or maybe already has ended. I mean, we did this story some months ago, AP African American Studies. This is pretty extraordinary. This is Taifa Alexander is the director of the Forward Tracking Project at the UCLA Law School. And she said this, and let me just quote. She said, the things that have been happening in Florida have been replicated, or governors in similarly situated states have claimed they will do the same thing, end of quote. And then this piece that is in today's Daily Kos, like I said, this is the AP story. In Alabama, a proposal to ban divisive concepts passed out of the legislative committee this week. In Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin, a Republican, rescinded a series of policies, memos, and resources related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and in fact characterized them as discriminatory and divisive concepts. Oklahoma teachers are prohibited from teaching race and racism under a bill signed by Republican Governor Kevin Stitt. On Thursday, the Llano County Commissioner's Court in Texas held a special meeting to consider shutting down the entire public library system, rather than follow a federal judge's order to return books to the shelves on topics about bigotry. What they're basically saying is, we will suppress your books, we will suppress the conversation about race, we will stop conversations about racism, we will stop conversations about American, Black, Chinese, Asian history. We're gonna end your advanced studies course. This is as Mark Morial said, this is a singular effort to suppress blacks. Meanwhile, the FBI indicated that hate crimes just between 20 and 2021, we get these statistics always a couple of years late, Hate crimes have exploded in the United States, and African Americans were disproportionately represented, accounting for 30% of the incidents that were prosecuted as hate crimes, about a third. It's just incredible. And this is happening, like I said, this is how it started in Germany. Hitler's rise to power was on the back of social issues. And nobody's talking about this. Nobody's pointing this out.